on record.
Okay.
And then share screen. And click on there, share screen. Right, okay. So what I was saying was that there were 2 success plans that were, I don't know what the word is, published in July. The second one is the up-to-date one, and that is the one that's now currently on the source. And so that you know you've got the right one, you want to be looking at the ID number on the back at the bottom there. And it should be the R08/04. So it's the 08 version. Okay, just to clarify that, because I found that out today. So, the success plan as of July 2015. So as you can see, the contents are benefits, qualification programs, maintenance requirements, and then the summary and definitions. And then there's a couple of amendments at the end. Claire and I have just discussed this, and basically we want to just go through it as quickly as possible so that people can ask the questions, because it is very daunting and very confusing when you first start your Arbonne business. But I can't recommend highly enough that you actually get to grips with this, because it actually does then make total sense to you, and it does inspire you to reach district manager as quickly as possible, and also to actually go out there and do your launches, make product sales, get PCs on board so that you can take advantage of the compensation plan from day one. So if we cover first of all independent consultants, and independent consultants can have up to 35% retail commission from the resale of Arbonne products purchased from Arbonne at a 35% discount from the suggested retail price, which they call the SRP. Excluding non-commissionable items such as business aids, sample packs and starter kits. So if you are to immediately start to take on board preferred clients, you'll get a 15% commission on those sales, because they obviously get 20% discount. So if you make a sale to a client as such that doesn't qualify for any discounts, then obviously you'll make the whole 35% discount. But it's very important to take on preferred clients because you want to give them the best value that you can. And obviously, you know, you're aware that there are ASVPs available for them at a greater discount when they first, well, all the way through actually at 40%. So you get access to ongoing product specials, Arbonne incentives and other monthly promotions as well. But as district manager, you get the same benefits as an independent consultant, plus you get an 8% override on your central district override volume. You also qualify for £125 district manager cash bonus. So that's an amount of money that will be added to your paycheck if you achieve the district manager bonus. That's any volume that goes through your central district of 5,000 QV, and you have to have a minimum of 5 new sign-ups. They can be consultants and they also can be PCs, but they must do an order of 150 QV in order to qualify for your 5 new sign-ups and 5,000 QV to get your district manager bonus. The executive district manager, therefore, is somebody that promotes a district manager. So somebody who sponsors somebody who then reaches the same level as them, and then they go out of their central and they basically sit alongside them. And so that's how the term executive comes into play. So you get the same benefits as a district manager, plus you get the 8% override on the first generation district manager QV, and you get 2% override on the second generation district manager QV with 2 first generation districts. You also can get 1% override on your third generation district managers. But that means, therefore, that you have to have 3 district managers that you've promoted out to also get that extra 1%. So just to repeat those overrides, that's 8% on your first district manager, 2% on the second generation, and an additional 1% on the third generation. Now, if we take that through to area manager, same benefits as an executive district manager, plus an additional 6% override on the central area QV, and you can qualify for a £250 cash bonus with a central area QV of 20,000 QV and a minimum of 10 new independent consultants or preferred clients with at least a 150 PQV order in their start month. You can also now qualify for not only the area manager bonus, but also the district manager bonus. So that can actually mean an extra £250 and £125 in your paycheck. As an executive area manager, you get the same benefits as an area manager, plus you get the 6% override on your first generation area manager's QV. You get an additional 1% on the second generation and an additional 1% on the third generation. We're not going to go any further than that at this stage tonight. So we move on now, and perhaps Claire would like to take over and go through the qualification programme of a district manager.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all right. I would just like to ask anybody if you've got any questions at this time, because it can all sound quite confusing if you're new. Has anyone got any questions? And please don't worry about asking, because, you know, we're the guys to ask. Is anyone confused?
Could I ask a question, Claire?
Of course, Carl.
Just the one thing that I'm confused about is, if I'm a district manager and somebody in my team becomes a district manager, do I lose anything that they make because they're at the same level?
Okay, what you still get paid, but you're restricted on what you can take from to maintain. We've got another section on maintenance. Once you get to any level in Arbon, you have to maintain that level. But with district manager, they give you 2 months, and they're called building months, where they don't expect you to have enough QV going through your business at that point to maintain. After 2 months, so say in your third month, they expect to see 2,500 coming through your business to maintain. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
No.
I think what Carl is meaning is, like, how do you explain how the district manager QV remains within your business but actually steps aside? So in other words, he still has a central and he has to maintain 2,500 QV in that central district. That can be made up of his own purchases, and it can be made up of his PCs and his clients and any other consultants that he's brought on board that haven't made district manager status.
Yeah, absolutely.
District
Yes.
manager goes to one side, but your DM bonus is just within the central, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still get paid on the overall QV, 8%.
Even if they're district managers as well?
Yes.
Yes. They're promoted up.
They're
Yes.
called your first generation district manager then.
Okay. What happens if then they go above and they become area manager?
Good question. If they get... Bev?
No, sorry, yeah, you go ahead.
Yep, okay, fine. If they go above and they become an area manager and you remain a district manager, you will still get paid on their district. So whatever level you're at, you'll still get paid on that level. Yeah. That's it, basically. I won't go into too much detail, but so you have to think of each level. There are 4 levels of management. Yeah, district, area, region, nation, and think of all of them as profit centres. So I'm a region, so I have a central region, a central area, and a central district, and each one is a profit centre.
Okay.
So I still get paid on my activity in my district and the district managers. I get paid on the areas, my central area, and the area managers. I also get paid on my regional vice presidents that are within my business. But as you know, I've promoted one lady who's gone past me to the top level, which is nation. So I do not at this stage get paid on her nation. But when I become a nation, I will then get paid on her nation.
Okay.
Which is 1%. But by the time you're a nation, then your business is very big. So 1% is of a lot, is quite a bit.
Excellent.
Does that help?
It does, thank you.
Okay. All right. Charlie, I know you've only just joined, honey. This is probably going straight over your head. But you're basically in this business, all we say is you get started, start sharing the products, start sharing the business, and get yourself to become a district manager. And you've got no better sponsor than Luke.
I know,
to get
amazing.
I mean, I was going to say, Claire, I just want to say well done to Charlie. Charlie had one of her launches last week, and really proud of her, actually, for just kind of getting out of the comfort zone and getting a launch. And you've got another one booked in, haven't you? And you've got quite a lot on the horizon. So,
yeah, a lot of
she's definitely going to be my next district manager, 100%.
Oh, excellent. Yay, go for it. So that's wonderful news. It really is. You know, I love new consultants, and when you sort of get going, it's all daunting. You have anxieties, but you get so excited, and you get all these confused messages. But, you know, when you've got someone really strong leading you, you've got nothing to worry about, because there's no other business like it than having a support network around you and your sponsor to guide you and show you what to do. Luke's got to district and is a very, very strong district. And that's what we say. Then find people, show them how to get to district. You've done it. You know then what to do, don't you? Once you get to district manager, you'll think, oh, well, I've just done that. So I can now show my friend how to do that. So find 4 people that you introduce to the business, show them how to become district managers. Simple, because you've just done it. You will then become an area manager. Then you find those 4 people that have become districts, you're already showing them to find 4 people and show them how to become district managers. Yeah? So then your friends, they become area managers and you become a regional vice president. But you don't have to worry about anything apart from get yourself to district and show 4 people how to get to district. That's it. They then show 4 people how to get to district. Yeah? Okay, that's just in simple terms. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And you've got a fantastic guide there, and I have every confidence in the pair of you, so that's great. Okay, so am I covering this bit then, Bev?
Can do, or I can whiz through it if you want to handle the questions, and I'll just go through the facts.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever, I don't mind. Yeah, you do that.
So the Success Plan qualification programs continued. This explains basically how you actually get to district manager and how many QV you actually need to achieve that. So this is the only level at which time you do actually need to accumulate 1,000 PQV. That's personal sales. Or it can be 2,500 QV in a month that you've generated either by your own sales, what PCs have bought, and what your consultants have also bought. So it can be 1,000 personal QV, or it can be 2,500 QV in a month. And that then is your start month. You've then gone into qualification, and including that month, you've got three whole months to complete. You can complete the qualification in 2 months, or in fact in 1 month, to be fair, and you need 6,000 QV in order to do that. If you take it over the 3 months, then you need to have 7,500 QV. QV are accumulated over the entire qualification period. However, the thing to note, which is really important, is that whether you do it in 2 months or 3 months, you must have 2,500 QV in the last month of the qualification period. You need a minimum of 1,000 PQV accumulated in the qualification period also. So even if you go into qualification with 2,500 QV from what we call your central, you still need to have done 1,000 personal QV yourself over that period. I'll skip the next bit on the pickup credit because that's currently not, well, he tells me today it's no longer there, but then he at head office told me to look for this particular copy, which is the correct copy. So I'm going to skip that for the moment until we've got clarification on that. So when you're an executive district manager, or what is the term, sorry, executive district manager? It's somebody who is a district manager who promotes a new district manager from the central district. So in other words, when Charlie goes to district manager, Luke is executive district manager. But I think you're already executive district manager, aren't you, Luke? So you wouldn't be double executive district manager. But, you know, you're on the way to becoming area manager at this point. So an area manager can also qualify over a 2 or 3 month qualification period. Now, if you're going to do it in 2 months, it's 24,000 QV. And if you do it over 3 months, it's 30,000 QV. You need a minimum of 10,000 QV, not PQV. There's no longer the PQV requirement in the first and the last month of the qualification period. So just as you needed your 2,500 QV, sorry?
Yeah, just say there is a requirement of PQV of 150. Sorry, I had to just jump in there.
Okay, yeah.
I know you know
yeah.
that. I know that you know that. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, that runs throughout your entire business. So even when you're a national vice president, executive national vice president, you still have to do every single month 150 QV to maintain your position in the management qualifications. So yes, that is absolutely crucial. So never forget to do your 150 QV order.
I tell you what, the amount of products that we all use on a daily basis, spread over a month, you know what? I would never go and buy my products from another shop now. I'd buy them from my own shop. Yeah. And it's more than 150 QV. So it's an easy thing to do.
When you first start though, lots of people have an objection to that 150 QV because they think, oh my God, how am I going to do that? And you can be quite confident to assure them that it's nothing to worry about. Because even if you can't afford to do that yourself, you can sell a lipstick and you can sell an eyeshadow or a mascara or a shower gel to, you know, random people, and that will take care of the 150 QV. So it's really nothing to worry about. And so
buy a protein shake, shampoo, conditioner, shower gel. You're just about there anyway.
Yeah, and you'll always find somebody who wants a protein shake. Last month I had a guy wanted 120 ready-made protein shakes. He's selling them all to his friends. So
do the flash buy. Yeah, do the flash buy tonight. Because you get all those freebies, those free protein shakes, and then you can sell them.
I need to call him after this call because I've been trying to get them onto the 30-day protein rather than the ready-made, because obviously it's better value for money. Yeah. So I'm a bit lost now. So you need to do 2,500 QV in your central district each month of the qualification period. So your QV will be accumulated over the entire qualification period. You need a maximum 10,000 QV from each first generation paid as district manager's entire success line, excluding volume from the first generation district promoted out area managers during the qualification period. If your first generation district manager promotes to area manager during your qualification period, the 2,500 pickup credit is included in the maximum 10,000 QV that may be counted over the qualification period. So if applicable, pickup credit of 2,500 QV for one or more promoted paid as area managers or above first generation district each month. So you might want to reread that a few times because that does seem to be a little bit confusing. But in essence, you need to qualify to be in qual for area manager with 10,000 QV, and you need to finally finish area with 10,000 QV in the last month as well. So they're the key things to remember. An executive area manager is an area manager who promotes an area from their central area. And then it goes on to regional vice president and executive and national and executive. So then it talks about the maintenance. So the most important thing to remember as an independent consultant is that you need to accumulate 1,200 QV during each 12-month period with Arbonne. So they refer to that as the 12 in 12 requirement. And you do actually get an additional month because you also get the anniversary month as well to determine whether or not you've achieved 1,200 QV. However, I'm not going to go on about that because obviously if you're building your business, then in essence you are going to achieve 1,200 PQV over that 12-month period, and therefore you'll retain your independent consultant status and, more importantly, your 35% wholesale discount. And then it tells you about what happens if you're reclassified, if you're a district manager and you don't manage to maintain each month. It explains there what will happen. So if you want to read that through, would suggest that you do so that you can understand that. It also talks about performance account balance. Do you briefly, Claire, want to just talk about a performance account balance from the point of view of a district manager?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah, okay. So, as I said earlier, when you become a district manager, you at Arbonne allow you 2 months, and they're called building months. So if you don't have the maintenance requirement of 2,500 QV coming through your business, that's okay. They allow you those 2 months to build up to that. In your 3rd month, the computer system expects to see 2,500 QV coming through your business. But if you've built your business well with preferred clients, and preferred clients on average order every other month. However, if they're buying nutrition, then that is a monthly order. So they will be buying their products on a monthly basis anyway. Okay, so it's really important to ensure that you build up and you do have 2,500 coming through your business every month. That can be made up of other consultants in your business. It doesn't have to be just preferred clients. Okay, does that help? Yeah.
And you have two building months when you first qualify as district manager. I know you've said this, Claire, but just to reiterate that, where you're not expected to do the 2,500 because they do appreciate that you're building the business at that point in time. And so what happens is that whatever QV goes through your central district in those 2 months goes into what they call a performance account balance. So supposing in month 3 you were to do 2,200 QV, you would take 300 QV from that performance account balance. So you'd basically just borrow it across. But obviously, if you set out to achieve the 2,500 QV from day 1, you're never going to need to use that performance account balance, and it's going to end up being a really nice, tidy amount there that you're never going to need to fall back on. But supposing you got ill and you couldn't work for a couple of months, you have got that cushion. And that carries forward. But once you become an area manager, it goes back to 0 again, and you have to start again, and you have that first initial 2 months building period to accrue some QV and to performance account balance. I would assume that that's the same at region.
Absolutely, region and nation. Yep, all the way. Whatever applies, it applies all the way through. Whatever applies at district, it applies at area and region and nation. So it's fair for everybody. Okay, but PA balance, our CEO, Kay Napier, doesn't actually like our PA balance, and she is going to remove it at some point. She will remove it. She's been saying it for such a long time now. One day she's going to, but that's okay. And what she's trying to do is show us how to build a strong business, and that's fine. Okay, any more? So has anybody got any questions at this point before we go on?
Yeah, I've got another one.
Okay, great. I love questions.
Bev, could you just scroll up to either district or area?
Yeah.
I was just going to ask a question about the first month and the last month. You have to, for example, area, you have to have 10,000.
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, in the first month you do 15, and the second you do, whatever above, but in the last one you don't, you're not going to qualify as an area manager. So would you say you have to be a bit crafty, and if you know you're going to get the points, save them for the last month so you make sure you get the 10,000?
Yes and no, because obviously you need to be mindful of the fact that you don't want to leave yourself short of 10,000 QV in that second month if you're going to do it in 24. So if you did 15 in the first month, you'd only need to do 9 in the second month. But obviously then you'd really have messed up because you wouldn't have had that last 10,000 QV. So yeah, if you're really that desperate for QV, then you do obviously need to keep that in mind. But obviously the whole process depends on putting through as many QVs as you possibly can. Never hold back your QV. But yes, you do need to keep an eye on that, Col. But in theory, if you're going to achieve 24,000 and you do 15,000 in the first month, the chances of you doing another 15,000 are quite great. And you want to try and achieve it in 2 months if you can, because it is actually a 20% discount in effect on QV. So yeah, there's a lot to be said for making your mind up. If you think you've got the capability and the warm market, probably, because at that stage it's about PCs and everything that you've accrued, and also the business builders that you've brought in. So if you think you can do it in 2 months, you've got to just really go for it. But yeah, don't do 9,000, 15 in the first and 9,000 in the second.
Okay.
That's the way I see it. But overall, you need to be just putting through as many orders as you can.
Realistically,
you have that abundant mindset. You're gonna achieve it.
Realistically, the way that I imagined that this worked anyway is if you were at a particular level, it's almost like I suppose it's almost like if you think about it in a football way, that if you're a Premiership footballer, you're going to be able to stay in the Premiership, or if you're not as good, you're not going to make that level. That's the kind of thing anyway, isn't it? If you can only do a district amount of QVs, you're never going to get to area anyway.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
I think what you've got to remember at this point is that you have got strong districts and a strong central for you to be anywhere near the 10,000 QV qualification in the first month anyway. So if you achieve 10,000, in that first month, then you're in a very strong position. But obviously you would look at the state of your business at that point and work out for yourself why you've got that 10,000. And if you do 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, it's very neat and tidy, then you will have qualified over the 3 month period. So as Claire said, you need 4 district managers ideally, all doing 2,500 QV every month. And then that's 10, 10, 10. So that's the perfect scenario, but it never sort of stacks up like that. Well, I'm saying it never does. I mean, it does, Luke already has. Luke, have you won district manager? Sorry, are you on mute?
Sorry, I had it off. So what was you saying?
I said, are you one district manager so far? Have you got 2?
I've got 1.
Yeah, so you're about to pop another one, I would think.
I hope so.
And then if you've got Charlie on board as well, then you've got 3 strong district managers. So you will be in area qual.
I only have 2 for now. Charlie will be my second, I think.
Yeah.
Years. But I've got like you say, performance balance. I've got quite a strong performance balance, which is good as well. So it does kind of help you out if you need it.
Yeah.
So for example, I've got about, I think just under 7,000 in my performance balance. But obviously I don't want to use that because it's not the point of it. It's there for an absolute emergency, isn't it?
You need to be building your business on that minimum of 2,500 QV maintenance every month.
Yes.
Because if you're going to make the 10,000 QV area qualification, then you need to be doing that in your central at least.
Exactly, and that's what we're pushing for.
Yeah.
So I think at the moment we're pushing for it with events and signing up PCs, kind of strengthen that, like you say, central district. I think St Clair always says is that, you know, your PCs will never leave your central district.
Yeah.
So having PCs is always really, really kind of crucial.
And the other thing I read as well, which I think Claire wrote somewhere, and that is, should your central, Claire, always be 3 times the size of your right-hand column?
So, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Your left-hand column is so important. When you're looking on your web stats, your left-hand column, you know, don't let that be less than your right-hand column. Right, I think we're getting into too much detail here for some people at this point.
But it's kind of just reiterating that you need to keep that central strong no matter what level you're at.
Absolutely. You know, we talk about the building blocks. If you're doing 2,500 yourself, then you have 4 people doing 2,500, because this works on the power of 4, plus you doing your 2,500. Okay, going back to Carl. So if you find 4 people, you help them become district managers, or they are building to district by doing that 2,500 QV, or they're maintaining district at 2,500 QV. That's 10,000 coming from your district quals or your district managers, plus your own 2,500. That gives you 12,500 in month 1. And if that repeated, then next month, another 12,500, then you've got 25,000 in your business. You are an area manager.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And sometimes it can be mistaken that you only need 4 people to be doing that. You know, doing 2,500, but you must be doing 2,500 yourself, because we can't teach anybody else to do that if we're not doing it ourselves. Yeah. So, for district managers doing 2,500 QV, yeah, you will then become an area, and then they teach 4 people to become districts. They become area, and then 4 area managers doing 10,000. You become a region. Everything just works on the power of 4. It is so simple.
Can you see that there? The district manager is 2,500 QV, area manager 10,000 QV, and so therefore, like Claire says, on the power of 4, your regional vice president is 40, national vice president 160. That's that's qualification QV. But as you can see, it's the power of 4. So 2,500 times 4, 10 times 4, 4 4s is 16, 160,000.
Can you have more, though? Can you have more?
Absolutely. You can have 64 district managers maintaining at 2,500. You'll become a national vice president.
I wasn't aiming that big. I meant one more. That, you know, it's extra help then, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, when I started my business, I was fortunate enough to reach up 5 generations up from me. And I reached up to a new regional vice president called Ian Pritchard. And I said, I want to do what you do. I want to be a regional vice president. Tell me what to do. He said, okay, fine. Find 5 people to do what you've just done. I'd just done 2,500 QV. He said, find 5 people to do the same. Now he says 5 because, you know, you've always got a spare then. You've always got, because someone might be up, there's another one's down. So I found 5 people to do the same. And in fact, a lot of people have asked me recently how I built my business. I didn't question anything. Ian said, find 5 people, teach them to do the same. Fine, I did that. I was a district manager in 2 weeks. And then helped those 5 people to do the same. I did that. I was an area qual at the end of my 2nd month. Now what do I do, Ian? Find those 5 people, do that. So exactly the same. We were all going 5, 5, 5. We did 36,000 QV in month 3. 36,000 QV in month 3. Ridiculous amount of QV. But it was fantastic. I was loving it. I wasn't questioning anything. And we were all just having so much fun. And in fact, I've had a chat with one of my area managers recently, and what I did, I then expected to become a nation so quickly. I me and my team, we got to region in 5 months. That was phenomenal in those early stages. That was an amazing achievement. And I thought, well, I'm going to be a nation now. I'm going to be a national vice president in another couple of months. Well, what I'd done, I'd worked in my business, and kept working down into the business so far down. I've got district managers flying out my ears and area managers popping like mad. You wouldn't believe it. But I was working the business. I was, okay, get those 5 people in front of me immediately. I would speak to those 5 people immediately on the phone, conference calls, always. I'd drive to see them. I'd meet them. And then I got to region. I thought, right, that's it. Now my leaders know how to become regional vice presidents. No, they didn't. They didn't know, because I'd done everything for them. And that's why, we sort of didn't get to nation as quickly as we had thought. However, I still believe that working deep into your business from that Don Thaler system, where he says, work 3 levels deep to ensure that people know what to do. But I believe that I had grown and developed leaders. But, a bit of a mistake, it didn't actually happen. So you have to look for the leaders in your business. And the leaders are those that are on the phone to you saying, right, okay, what do I do next? Just remember what I did to Ian Pritchard. Okay, done that, now what? Okay, done that, now what? Okay, and just being so focused that you can achieve it, you can get it, whatever you want, just go for it. I had a lot of people say no to me. So many people said no. And there's a saying, regional vice presidents are the failures. They're the losers in the business because they've had more no's than anybody else. I had my fantastic list of everyone that's going to do this business with me, and we were going to have so much fun together. Well, majority of them said no. Why? What is it that you don't get about this? This is amazing. So you have to work through that. Be prepared for that. But just keep on going, because you will find those people that do want to run with it and build enormous businesses. Okay, I'm going off on one here. But so I sort of built a region by myself and didn't identify my leaders. Maybe I was too strong and overshadowed my leaders. Who knows? But yeah, and the people that are actually in my business now, when I got to region, there are 3. And I have 4,500 people in my business, but there were only 3 that started with me. Now that's interesting. Anyway, okay. Any questions, anybody?
Something here that's really important, and that is not only do all independent consultants at whatever level have to do a 150 QV order every month. The term of the agreement between you and Arbonne is 1 year. So every Arbonne independent consultant must renew his or her agreement with Arbonne every year prior to the end of his or her anniversary month by submitting the annual renewal fee to Arbonne. Now, if you store your credit card in your wallet on your own personal website with Arbonne, they'll take the renewal automatically. So
yeah, and it's only £20.
Make sure you do that. Don't just assume that you carry on being a consultant. You have to make sure that that renewal is paid. So always remember your anniversary month, and always do a double check and just make sure that it's going through okay. It should flash up when you do your order, shouldn't it? It used to, because my renewal month is September. So
yeah, it should do. I'm sure it will with the new system. Yeah.
So that's really important, and obviously everybody probably wants to know the next question, and that is, when do you get your white Mercedes cash bonus, Claire? Because you don't get it as district manager.
No, you get the £500 additional Mercedes cash bonus when you get to regional vice president, and then when you get to nation, you get £600. Okay.
So here is a chart which clearly shows to you the override percentages. So if you take it from preferred client commission, you get 15% on all of the orders that preferred clients pay as an independent consultant, and as a district, and as an area, region, and nation. So as Luke quite rightly said, that's why you want PCs in your central district always. And then as a district, you then get 8%. On your first generation override, you get 2% on your second, and you get an additional 1% on your third. But as Claire said, you've got to be 3 wide to be able to collect that 3 deep. And the same applies to area. So once you get to area, not only do you get the 8% on your district, but you also get the additional 6%. So that's a total of 14%. And when you get to region, you get an additional 3%, and nation another 1%. So that totals up, I think, as 18%. So you will always get 18% as a national vice president on your central, and so on and so forth. You can see it goes across like that on your first generation override. And then, as Claire says, you continue then 6 levels deep to get 1% as a nation. So I think that's like really simple to understand, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, does that help? You know what? As a regional vice president, when I have a PC, a preferred client join me, I get paid 15% for preferred client, plus 3%, plus 6% from the central area, plus 8% from the central district. So preferred clients are amazing. So that's why Arbonne are encouraging you to have more preferred clients than you can imagine, because the paycheck is so much more. Does that help?
There's 2 sides to the business, in effect. There is the direct selling side, where you can accrue the 35% retail margin, or you can make 15% on preferred client orders. And then there's the override side, which is where you make the residual income on teaching other people how to duplicate yourself. So this is why you want to be creating 4 district managers as a minimum, all duplicating what you've done. And then that's when you start to get the override additional 8%, 6%, 3%, and so on. So, you know, that is what you want to be aiming for, but at the same time, you still want to be making the retail commission on the product sales. So if you have a good balance of doing both, then you can have a very strong business, because you'll always have a strong central. So you know, you need to be very aware of how you're spending your time, because if you're just going to do the results approach, which we did do when I first started, and not the products, then obviously your product sales are going to be less than your business builders. But as Claire said, with the business builders, you always get people coming into the business full of enthusiasm, raring to go, but they might not actually have, you know, the stickability, shall we say. So you might have sponsored 14, 15 consultants, business builders, very time consuming, and you might only end up with only having 4 or 5 at any one time, because as you take people into your business, you don't necessarily keep them. So as long as you've got a really good mix of direct sales on product as well as business builders, then your business is going to be a lot healthier, and you're going to feel a lot more comfortable about it, because you're not going to be so stressed that you need that next business builder. Because there's nothing worse than, you know, desperately needing another business builder, because people pick up on that. You look needy, you sound like, you know, more desperate. And there's nothing worse than people that spew up over people. Arbonne. We've all done it. We've all done it. And it definitely is not attractive. So you want to be looking sort of more to, you know, be attractive yourself and happy and comfortable with your business, because then that will attract people to you. So that's my advice. Any questions?
No.
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 Is Charlie gone?
No, she's there.
Yeah.
I'm still here, yeah. Just trying to process it all.
Okay, so yeah, Charlie, you ask us the questions because obviously you're, very new to this, and so you're going to find it really, really confusing. So if we can answer like some very simple questions and help you right now, it's going to make a big difference to how you progress.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting confused, but I think the 4 rule thing, that really has helped break it down for me.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot simpler. You know, and you see like QV, PQV, and you're like, oh, what is all this? But no, that's really helped the 4 rule.
Yeah.
I put it in my phone as well. So
I think what's on the screen right now, that's Bev sharing, the district manager at
Yeah.
20,000, 4 of those making 10, and then 4 area managers,
yeah,
10 at 40. Yeah, that is amazing. It doesn't have to be that denomination, but that's in the ideal world. And we say that 2,500 QV are the building blocks for your business.
yeah.
I mean, there is a head office program which Luke's very familiar with, and which I've took an interest in the last few months, that's worked really well for me, and that is the Strong Start program. Because for you to get into qualification for district manager, you need 1,000 PQV. So when you do your product launches, if that's your target, then you're going to make district manager qualification straight away, which is like really good to do. But if you then stretch yourself to Strong Start, the goal for the first month is 1,500 QV. If you do the 1,500 QV, then the following month you're much more likely to do the 2,500 QV. Yeah. And then in the third month you need to do 3,500 QV. But by that point you've probably got a business builder on board to help you do that. And you're doing product launches with them as well. So you're in the mindset within 3 months of doing the 2,500 on average QV. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
And if you carry on after that, trying to keep on doing that, then, it just takes the stress out of it all, because you know exactly what you're supposed to be achieving. And lots of people are completely goal-driven, goal-orientated. They say to you, what do I have to do? Tell me what I've got to do. And if you say to them, right, 1,500, 2,500, 3,500, or 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, bingo, it's like, that's what you've got to do. So then you break it down into how many launches do I need? That stops people as well from procrastinating and not getting on with their launches.
4 launches.
Yeah, first 4 launches. And then you've also got your own success packs that you've bought anyway, the tools for your business, which is where 1,000 PQV comes in. So, if you follow that simple system, it does make it a lot less confusing. So I think in the last few months, we've realised that the 2,500 building blocks is everything. And, you have to do whatever you need to do to get that.
I'm sorry, great explanation there, Bev. Alex Stafford, looking pretty cool, honey, with the shades on.
I can't see Alex.
Oh, it's so funny. She's sat there just doing all this, with the hair and the glasses.
I can't see her. Where is she?
I don't look, Bev, I only had them on because I haven't got my makeup on.
I'm going to put you on full screen now.
No, don't!
All right. So is everybody okay with where we're at with everything? Is everyone okay? Yeah. Has everyone got any concerns, moments? However, if you do have, then don't worry. We can always deal with it. Always. That's what you've got. You've got an amazing support network around you to help you. If you're doing something and you're not getting the results, then what you need to do is get on the phone to your upline or that person's upline and say, right, well, I say this and I do it like this. And we can actually identify what it is that you might not be quite covering, and we can tweak it and show you how to make it perfect. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, you know what? I've got a consultant has called me today, asking for a bit of help, bit of guidance, and she's not direct to me, but within my organisation. I said, right, okay, so we're seeing each other in a few days. I said, bring your diary with me. Show me what you've done over the last month, and show me what you've got booked in for the next month. That way, I know that she's in activity. If she's not in activity, then nothing's going to happen. It's like anything, isn't it? If you haven't been to the gym for the last month and you're a bit disappointed that your 6-pack isn't developing, then there you go. There's the answer. So it's so basic, and I think sometimes we can overcomplicate it. Yeah. So the key thing is just find people to speak to. There's a fantastic regional vice president. I absolutely love this girl. She has been in the business for 5 years before she got to region. She was a very strong area for a long time, and she then got to region. And I said, why? What was the difference? How did you get to region? Well, you know what? Only 5% of the people in her business were people that she knew. 95% of the people that were direct to her, she'd never met before. Okay, fine. Well, how did you find them? She went to networking events. And that made the difference for her. Because sometimes you feel, oh gosh, I've spoken to everybody. Who do I speak to now? Me, I just speak to anybody, wherever I am. Just saw a lady today. I said, wow, lovely shorts. Where'd you get those from? I saw her walking across the car park. Where'd you get those shorts from? And she told me, it's fantastic. I'll go and get them. She said, well, thank you very much. Guess what? That girl's got my business card. And I've got her name. And I didn't actually ask her for that reason, because I just loved the girl's shorts. So, just be happy and be prepared to speak to anybody. And it doesn't mean running around like a lunatic, sort of like, like you're half-baked, but just be prepared to speak to people. Yeah. And I know for me, that took me a long time to understand that people didn't actually do that, because I just do it anyway. Absolutely. I just chat with anybody all the time, but not everybody has that confidence or is that nosy to ask people loads of questions. So you can just slowly build your confidence by complimenting somebody on something. Or if they hold the door open for you, just say thank you. And that might not be something that you would normally do. Just start little baby steps to speak to people. And then you'll be like me, be really nosy and find out everything about everybody.
I think as well, Claire, you mentioned in networking, and I know Carl has been sort of like working down the nutrition route and establishing relationships with people. I think a lot of the thing about networking is that you need to just build those relationships over time.
Yes, definitely.
And I think some people make the mistake, me included in the first place, of thinking that I was going to get to know somebody and then they would do business with me. Because to me, that's why you go. But it's not that straightforward. But the thing is, if you're sowing those seeds all the time, then, you've always got seeds that are going to sprout here, there and everywhere when you're not expecting them to. So in theory, if you are talking to those people, you may not even tell them what you do right now, but, they find out, and those relationships, come to fruition. And it's usually when you're not trying to make it happen. So I think it's very important, especially with the nutrition, that we sow those seeds like Cole's doing right now. Yeah. Because it's business for the future. It doesn't have to be business for next week. It's business for 6 months down the line, maybe. So
where your business is now is what you did 6 months ago.
Yeah.
What's happening in your business right now is what you did 6 months ago.
I always found it quite difficult to get my head round people saying, put things in your diary 6 weeks ahead. So if I do somebody, you want to go and have, a business meeting with them. But, if they say, oh, I'm really busy for the next 3 weeks, don't push it. Just literally put it in the diary, because then you wake up on Monday morning or in principle Sunday night, and you just suddenly think, oh yeah, I'm meeting her on Wednesday. Fantastic. And the stress is all out of it because you've had it in the diary for a while, and hopefully they're not going to cancel last minute. But it's great to get things in your diary way ahead. I really like that now. And I'm more relaxed about it. So I've got I've got way too many business cards, and that's my, major fault, is that I don't follow up. So the follow up is key. So the 2,500 building blocks and the follow up. So yeah, give that girl a ring and ask them if they do those shorts in red.
Yeah. But another thing is, what? Be a product of the product. Look well, look healthy, look like you're wearing our makeup. If you're telling people that we've got great makeup, then use it and wear it. Okay, guys, I'm not expecting to run around with, big, lovely, beautiful lashes and pink lips, but, be a product of the product. Seriously. That makes all the difference. I see people now that I spoke to six years ago when I first started. I go, wow, Claire, your skin looks amazing. And I look at them and think, haha, you should have been using this product 6 years ago. And I can see that they have aged. I'm a baby boomer, guys. You guys are all young, but now they're coming back to me and they're saying, wow, Claire, I want to use that product. I want to use it. So I've got someone coming this week from 6 years ago. She had the samples 2 weeks ago. Saw her the other day. She says, Claire, I need that stuff. Okay, fine, great. So be a product of the product. I promise you it works.
Yeah, it really works.
Anyway,
if you lie about your age and tell them you're 10 years older than you actually are. They go, oh my God, you've got such good skin. And I go, I know, you would never know I'm 64, would you?
You're giving away your age. Okay, guys, anybody got any questions before we shoot? We've kept you on here long enough tonight, but I hope you've got a lot from it.
Yeah, it's just a reminder about Ian Pritchard's DA next Monday.
Oh yeah, Ian Pritchard's doing a DA in where is it? Wansford, which is between Stamford and Peterborough. Just off the A1. So if you know anybody in that area, then get yourself there. If you haven't seen Ian Pritchard, make sure you go. He's been my mentor all the way through. He's the most amazing person. Top Veiling earner in Arbonne, top earner in the UK. So you are in his business. So you want to get there. If you can, get to see him. I'm doing a DA tomorrow night with Dr. Neve Riley. At the White House Hotel in Kegworth, which is on the M1 Junction 24. So if you know anybody in that area, send them along. Dr. Neve Riley, she's amazing. So yeah, just get anybody you know in front of us too tomorrow. Okay, what else have we got coming up? We've got the flash buy, we've covered that. Don't know. No.
Anything?
No, I don't think there's much else happening right now. But there will be. Keep an eye on the Shore Nation page where most things get posted, and then obviously then you will all have your own pages as you grow your businesses. The areas have got pages, the districts have got pages. So just keep an eye on that. So thank you very much, everybody. I hope you've gained a lot from it, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Oh, by the way, we've got AAC coming up, which is in September, and then we always have the region training on the first Thursday every month. That's where we do region training, rewards and recognition. But because it's AAC, we're doing one the second Thursday of the month. So make sure you get along to that. Get it in your diary. It's a great time to go and meet other consultants, because it's really important to meet other people, have a chat with them, get to know how they're building their business. You can always learn from them. I constantly learn from other VPs, but always exchanging little bits of information. So thank you so much, everybody. And I will see you next week.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.